This is Radio Free Cybertron, the internet's original Transformers radio show. We were one of the first podcasts before podcast was a word.
Internet.
I'm Exvee, obviously not Brian Kilby, who could not be here because he's involved in the filming of Rooster Kung Fu Fighter, the original North Carolina Kung Fu movie production right now. It's based on real events that happened in his life. So, joining
There's
me...
not much cheerwine.
Why is that good news?
I said the thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's kind of a thing. Huh?
Yeah, no. I mean, they could use it as like a blood substitute.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if my cameo will still be in the movie or not while I'm chasing the rooster with a broom.
So, joining me this week, we have Rob Springer back on video finally because he's actually sorted out his computer problem.
Antivirus.
Yeah, don't run them.
Apparently, now I'm vulnerable.
We've got Headmaster Don with us.
Hey, everybody.
We have Matt, aka Melvar.
What's up?
We have Diecast sitting in as producer this week.
And I am also not Brian Kilby.
But I
don't think anybody would make that mistake. But Don keeps confusing me and Kilby when he attributes quotes from previous weeks, so I thought
I'm old. Leave me alone.
And our usual off-video panelists, we have Rob Clay and John DeLuna.
Hey, this is John DeLuna.
With the ATT buzz.
John is the coolest talking guy in the fandom, and possibly on the planet.
Hey, Get the Skinny's coming back.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Purge. In 2001.
Purge.
Well, since you're going to be involved with it, I actually believe it now.
I dated a Purger, but that's for another podcast.
When it's just Kilby talking about bringing back Get the Skinny, I never believe it. Or when Kilby talks about doing anything that's not the stuff we're already doing.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Like, Kilby has great ideas.
Anything.
Right, Kilby has great ideas. It's just a matter of like actually sitting down and following through on any of them.
Well, here's the thing. You can have a million ideas, then you're like, crap, I got to do stuff. Where'd free time go? Free time was around.
Mark my words, he'll be a roided out freak within 18 months. I promise you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Will he say
I'm not telling you what shape his body will be, but he'll be a roided out freak.
Just in time for BotCon 2017.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, Rampage.
Will he say beast mode arbitrarily?
Yes, as he crosses the goal line. Like he always has a football with him.
You know,
it's a cross between Marshawn Lynch and Rhinox. Why not?
Douchebags really ruined that thing for us, didn't they?
Well, I'm surprised that, there's a Megatron in the NFL, and there's Beast Mode in the NFL, and nobody talks about, like, where that came from, which is a little weird.
Well,
well, that explains why I saw that on a lady's shirt at the store. And I thought, how are they getting Beast Wars on a lady's shirt?
Why does the lady have Beast Mode on her shirt?
No, I've seen this shirt. If you go into like Walmart, they always got that rack of just like $5 T-shirts with kind of generic, non-branded sayings on them. There's one that just says Beast Mode for like $5. So I'm like, buy that joker. If it only lasts more than one wash, I'd buy that thing. Yeah, one wash. Next thing you know, you got a naval belly shirt.
I think first up this week, Diecast, why don't you tell us about the Google Plus move?
Okay, so unfortunately, we had to eliminate our most popular Google Plus page because that was the one that was created, I believe, initially. But then when Google decided that YouTube was going to create a Google Plus page for you, and it created a page which we weren't using because we already had an established page. So what we actually had to do is kill the established page. That way we could have the proper one linked to YouTube. So what you need to do is go to Google Plus and find the new RFC Google Plus page. That way you can get back into the Hangouts and everything you used to do. Thanks, Google.
All right.
Yes.
I'll remember that.
So this is February 4th. It's episode 304 of RFC, and it's notable that it's February 4th because it is 10 days until Toy Fair as of this recording. Now, Toy Fair, as we're very fond of saying, is our major event of the year. We call it our Super Bowl because we're nerds and not sports nerds. Come at me, I said it. Now,
Sorry.
we've had a lot of like early leaks of stuff, and we're going to talk about the big one in just a couple minutes. We've had a lot of early leaks, so I think we feel like we're in a state where we know a lot of stuff we're probably going to see. Hopefully, there will still be some surprises, and even when you know, like when you get like store inventory listings and stuff like that with no pictures, there's still that really special thing when you finally see those first official release images. And we're going to have live coverage at Toy Fair. We're going to be streaming on Saturday the 14th from noon Eastern time until about 5 o'clock, and then again on Sunday. So, Diecast, who all do you have appointments lined up with? Of course, you're going to be at Hasbro on Saturday.
Hasbro, Matty Collector, we have Mattel, Mezco, Bandai, pretty much all the major toy manufacturers. We have them covered. So, it's going to be an awesome event. We have Lego, which is surprising. They're very hard to get
you put in a lot of work to get the Lego appointment.
Yeah, the Lego was probably about 8 months of work. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, well, he built the camaraderie with Lego brick by brick.
Don, I would smack you, but I kind of like the analogy.
I'm doing it again.
Oh my goodness.
I kind of like that analogy, though, so I'm going to allow it. But yeah, you'll be there. You'll be tweeting photos out. You'll be giving us information from the show. We're going to be talking to you live during that afternoon. So you can see that here at tfradio.net/live. It'll be streaming on TFormers. TFormers.com is going to have people there. We're going to get coverage there too. We're going to have it's going to be a really great show this year. We're going to see a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And we hope that you will be here to experience it with us live as we broadcast.
Oh.
So, Kilby put something in the show notes, Facebook updates. I don't do the Facebook thing, so Diecast, any idea?
So no.
We have Facebook updates, and you can follow us on Facebook. What's the link for Facebook?
I'll retweet here. Put some hashtags in there.
So, Kilby, for future reference, for the stuff Exvee is not directly associated with, you need to put this in stupid mode. You need to put like full text that I can just read from, because this happens otherwise. I know you're watching.
No, I honestly don't know what Facebook updates he's talking about. So,
it's Kilby. I mean,
we have a Facebook page, and we put lots of news articles on the Facebook page regularly.
We put videos up there too, don't we?
Yes, and videos.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's right.
For example, your Superion Earfix that premiered on the Facebook page, didn't it?
Yeah, that premiered on the Facebook page. So definitely, you want to go and check out our Facebook page, like it, follow it, whatever you do on Facebook, and that way, because some of the videos will actually get posted to Facebook first.
Mm-hmm.
So
The rolling voice.
Thanks, man.
And I got these baritone Sasquatch voices. So
Look,
when I try to do something else,
you both have good voice for
Right.
broadcast media, so
and I got the face not for it.
yeah. So
Yeah,
basically don't tease Rob with beef jerky.
Yeah. You just asked him what happened to that little short guy. Mm-hmm.
Messing with Rob.
Hold on, let's.
So on this week's episode of RFC, we have
John
This
and
Week
I
in
will-
History, as we usually do, and we have the news. We got a lot of news on one particular subject, and I bet you can't guess what that is. So first, let's go to This Week in History, because this is a good one. So this week in 1999, a Hasbro press release announces that the 15th anniversary of the Transformers brand is highlighted by the introduction of the Animorphs.
Yes!
Yes.
here's a great 15th anniversary for you.
Here is the.
Is that guy melting? No, he's transformed.
Yeah.
Well, now, I I will say that the Beast War mutant figures are not bad toys. I know a
The
lot of
And
people.
they
Animorphs
were
aren't
originally
bad
conceived as
toys.
Animorphs.
Huh? Do what, Chris?
They were originally conceived as Animorphs
Oh yeah,
toys.
as Animorph figures, but we got them in the Beast Wars mutant line, which actually
Because
made
nobody
it.
wanted the Animorphs toys.
But I will say there's some very interesting engineering in the toys, and they're not as bad as everyone makes them out to be. I
They're
just want
not.
to say that.
I'll
Like-
agree with you.
I think I never bought any Animorph toys. I wasn't interested in that property when the toy line was happening, but I think honestly the reason there was so much rejection of it is just because they're trying to look like humans when it's the same toy design as robots, it's just different kind of detailing and people are having a problem with that.
You know, I really like the mutants first and foremost, but the Animorphs themselves proper, they got a bad rep for being. Do you remember when everyone referred to them as bastard Transformers because they had the name, but they didn't have any relation or whatever? Maybe not everyone, but it was common. But people kept calling them the bastard Transformers.
Yeah.
They just kind of slapped that logo on the box to sell them alongside Beast Wars.
Hmm.
I literally, I was in college and broke all the time. One day I was like, so bored, just walking around Walmart because I didn't have anything to do and no money to spend to do anything with. And, the Animorphs were on clearance for like $1 each. I had $1, I had an Animorph. So for like a couple of weeks in a row, I had $1, I had an Animorph. And the thing is, they weren't bad figures at all.
Do you
Not for
remember?
$1.
Do you remember which one you had, Rob? Do you
I've
remember
got a
which one
bunch.
you had?
I've got almost all of them. They're like $1 a piece, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember. I remember there was a controversy on ATT about Rachel, the girl,
Mm.
became a male lion,
Uh,
and there were pages and pages and pages of discussion, and I'm thinking, really?
well, that's because the mane hides her hair, and some people have really nothing to do.
It's just-
The thing is
Yeah.
too,
That leads
thing
into our
is
next
to-
story.
I know we'll get there in just a second, but girl transforming into a male lion. The thing is, the image of the male lion is what people commonly associate when you say lion. They think of the big cat with the big mane.
Mhm.
People are aware of the female lion that doesn't have it, but it's not the natural image that people come up
Yeah,
with
right.
when they think of a lion.
Her face, it kind of looked like a many faces gimmick, like the lion head kind of just folded over to face. So it's like, how do you expect this to work, man?
No.
She turns from a teenage girl into a lion. Of course she's going to have a mane.
Mhm.
Because she's got a jean vest on the lion as we're at it. They all had little leftovers of their clothes still in the animal form. Every gorilla had jorts.
The thing I think of is that, like, basically, Animorphs was a starting point, and later we got stuff like Star Wars and Marvel crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
But like compared to those, Animorphs was a good toy line.
Well, it's funny. Every time we got something that's really derided and just blasphemy, a few years later, something in its spirit is like the best thing ever. Action Masters. A decade later, we had SCF, and everyone loved them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Animorphs. Well, Luke Skywalker just turns into a jet.
I still was disappointed by how they did Star Wars Transformers, but that's a topic for another time. I think.
Yeah.
So, fandoms, as we've discovered with this subtopic, have reactions. They react to things in ways that you wouldn't expect them to just from, like, the black and white facts of the matter. But people get these ideas in their head, and once they do, it's like trying to pull teeth from an anus.
Oh my!
You're just
God.
not gonna get anywhere with them.
It's stupid with a capital K.
Damn it, Rob.
I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm just saying if these people worked at Arby's, they get fired trying to make cheeseburgers. Yeah.
So, we finally got to see the first actual direct, clear-ish image of Titan Class Devastator. And I think all of us here can agree, this is awesome.
Oh
Yes.
This is amazing.
This
overall, yeah, sure.
this is a very large, very pretty,
Yes.
unfinished hand-painted prototype made of clay. Hot glue gun together, leaned up against the sign because it can't stand up on its own right now.
Let me.
To be fair-
Every toy reveal at these shows.
So to be fair, this is less hot glued together than Superion and Menasor were at Comic
You
Con.
can see the glue.
That's true. If we get higher resolution images, we very well could see blobs of glue everywhere.
Pieces of the arm made into fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, this thing looks like crap. Give it a few months. Short-term memory, people.
See, here's the thing.
Did they get lost in their own house?
There's two things I can agree with on this figure. I don't really understand why they're choosing to go with the toy version of the G1 toy, because the treads on one of the arms is pink, which is the same as it was on
Purple.
G1. Or
Yeah,
purple, I'm sorry. Pink. And the foot for Mixmaster is just the cab is just a little too small, and I'm not really sure why that would be. Other than that, I think it looks pretty good, and who knows, the treads could even get painted before the mass release.
Probably not. Like what we're seeing, this is a hand-painted test shot. It's not made of clay like Rob Springer suggests, although it's not far off. But the colors represented here are basically the final colors it's going to be produced in. If anything, it'll lose colors, not gain. And yeah, it's going for...
Nicer.
Yeah, it will look nicer in production plastics.
It won't be so actually bright. It'll be able to stand up.
The brightness, I would assume, is just the lighting conditions, too.
Yeah.
That bald dude, not me.
Yeah, could be the camera too. You never know.
Reflecting off his dome.
Just the photo itself.
It's Hasbro sending
Hasbro-
out an invisible way of F you to everybody. It even hits the pictures. Like, can't even get a clear picture or nothing.
It's the
There's all this
ultimate
light
copy
glare.
protection.
I'm telling you, Hasbro, they're just the worst, aren't they?
Well, like the progression of the Devastator thing, this picture is from Nuremberg Toy Fair. The photo we're referring to was taken by a representative from a major Italian toy retailer and posted to their Facebook page. That's the original
Hey,
source
Walmart.
of it.
Good day, mate.
No, not Walmart, not Toys R Us. I don't recall the name of the retailer offhand, but
You missed my joke.
apparently I did.
Lay Walmart.
So
I
apparently the joke wasn't even the joke wasn't even worth missing, Rob.
Oh, come on.
Major retailer.
No,
we go to Walmart.
The progression of getting the picture of Devastator is kind of funny though, because like first you had those two pictures that were taken from outside through a window. Then a day or so later, we had the report from somebody who went there. Well, the window's been covered up. And now finally, through a retailer representative that was there, we have this picture which was posted to Facebook. But
They just
you
walked
know,
up into the picture.
yeah, there's NDAs and everything in effect, and you know, one person just decided to ignore them. And we have a decent-ish picture, but even still, it's such a cell phone picture. You kind of can't see a whole lot out of it.
You gotta.
Maybe he was like, Axis Powers, deal with it. And then
You gotta love this NDA. It's like, this is top secret. This cannot get out yet. Da da da. Yeah, put it by the window.
Right over there.
Yeah. I wonder how employed that guy is today. Like, this is top secret. All right, no one look at it right here. Hey, bald dude, get in the way. Here I come.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Well,
get over here.
You know, Bald Guy was like the best security for that thing because as long as he was there, we couldn't see it.
Okay. We've solved the Tommy Kennedy situation. I'm a little disappointed about that, honestly. Let's see if we can get this bald guy at BotCon.
I've been thinking the same thing, honestly.
You hear Brian Savage. All right, everybody. You are coming to BotCon. Here's bald guy. What if it was?
He's internet famous and probably has no idea.
Yeah, probably not.
He probably didn't even want to be there. He's like, this is so stupid.
At New York Toy Fair, the Hasbro design team members go there and act as their representatives.
Yes.
This guy is probably just hired help locally who doesn't know anything about this except for the script he was given.
He probably just works at the venue doing random stuff on the ground or something what's that? Oh, Voltron.
So I got a question. How many people that are complaining about this figure are probably going to end up buying it? Probably at least
all of them.
75% of them.
All of them.
The loudest complainer is the biggest buyer.
In however many colors it comes in, they will buy them all.
And I mentioned this on Twitter a few days ago when I saw everybody was really up in arms over this. Those of us around my age had to wait 25 years just for Hercules to come out to get a large-scale Devastator, then add another 5 to that for a first-party Devastator. A lot of people in the fandom are getting a large Devastator with a lot less time in waiting.
Well, also a lot less sticker price.
Yeah,
Well,
so
wasn't
I
a
mean-
few Devastators though.
And
Yeah.
I've noticed it must be a newer thing. Apparently, every time you buy a character, it has to be your new version, and the other one's no longer good. So people are like, "Is this supposed to be? I've already got Hercules." It's like, well, don't want it, don't buy it. How many Optimuses do you have? Does everyone just? Well, I gotta get rid of this guy now. They just put a new one on.
Exactly. So I mean, it's like, for those of you who don't like the figure, you've waited a lot less time than a lot of other people to get the same figure, so it can
Don
always be
can
a lot
preach.
worse. Yeah,
Don's
I'm just
like-
saying.
Don
I'm
is
just saying-
old.
I'm just saying, be grateful. And Rob and I talked about this on Twitter. They didn't have to make this Devastator. They could have taken that money for Devastator and made 16 different kinds of Luke Skywalkers and made just as much money, and we wouldn't have gotten this Devastator. Or they
The
could have
Devastator
made,
went to
made of
Bob
Luke
Lowe.
Skywalkers.
or
I'm
Darth
not, like-
Vader.
I'm
mean,
not grateful for them making a Devastator. I don't owe them anything because they graced us with a Devastator.
I'm just saying they did. I'm just saying
Thank
they
you.
didn't. I'm just saying they didn't have to make. I mean, that money could have been budgeted elsewhere in the Hasbro family of toys, and we not have got that Devastator.
Well, let's put this into perspective. You know how cheap we're probably going to get this Devastator?
Not
We're
very.
probably going to get this. Imagine if Costco picks this up. How much was Metroplex at Costco?
80 and under.
80 and under.
If you had a Costco within 150 miles of radius
And
of
if
your
you had an
house,
existing membership.
and if
Right.
your Costco actually got it, exactly, Rob.
But
Yeah,
at most, it was like
it's a small cross section where all those things are true. But I mean, I see where you're going with this. If Costco does get this around Christmas time, there's a good chance it'll be sub $100.
yes.
And a lot of us will never get it.
Yeah.
Because we can't find it.
But I think I picked up Metroplex for roughly $100, give or take, with a Hasbro Toy Shop discount. So it is possible.
I'm
Yeah.
not even going to do that. I'm going to walk up in Toys R Us, see that big old box, be like, man, where's the cart? 'Cause I ain't carrying
Yeah,
this thing
I'll tell you
anywhere.
what. I mean, there was points where I was seriously working out the figures to budget a Metroplex. I never quite got around to it, but this I'm a lot more motivated for.
I was given Metroplex. So
And well, the thing is, I think there's a lot more value in this set than if you look at Metroplex. You bought for the size and for the character, and it represented a good play set for your Legends figures.
it was
But
cool.
Yeah, but Devastator is basically 6 robots in one. So you're getting more characters for your money than just being a big character. Now, I think I have the superior version of Metroplex right here, but that's just me.
But do you still have your other one?
Yes.
And it
Okay,
left a
see,
far
here's my
superior.
Yeah.
It left
Yeah,
a
my
far
G1
superior hole in his wallet too.
My G1
Yeah.
Metroplex is in a dark closet to keep from age fading, but yes, I still have mine.
Did it replace it?
No,
Exactly.
each one still has its own charms.
Yeah.
I got a couple G1 Metroplexes downstairs. Buying
I've
big
got,
one didn't replace those.
Because of course.
I've got 3
Exactly.
Optimus Primes, 3 G1 Optimus Primes within reaching distance right where I'm sitting, and more than that in the room around me where I cannot easily get to.
If you're,
And
if
I
you're
have,
into
I have
shelf
Hercules
things, put
sitting
them next to
across
each
the
other.
room. I have Hercules sitting across the room, and he's probably going to be standing right next to Hasbro Devastator.
Oh yeah,
Rob?
definitely.
Or two.
Hey,
Rob,
see.
what were you saying?
which one?
Rob Springer.
Oh, okay. If that hung up the shelf thing, you don't have to put them all on your shelf.
Yeah.
Or if you're really hung up on the shelf thing, put them next to each other.
And here's something for people that's preferring the Hercules over. I mean, I've got Hercules too. I love the way it looks. It's just a phenomenal upgrade to the Devastator character. But if they do G2 repaints, this would be a lot more affordable, and it would be a different theme. So that way, since G2 was a whole different creature of sorts, it doesn't matter the mold's different because you're getting a different flavor of character.
Don, this is how you and I are going broke by the end of the year. Both G2s, orange and yellow.
Oh, I know. I'll be there.
Yeah, we are.
Here's my hope on that, and I'm using hope in a really weird way where I'm actually not hoping for it.
Because it doesn't float.
SDCC, get yellow G2 Devastator, because I don't care about that one so much. I didn't have that one when I was a kid. Then through Amazon or whatever, have the orange one where everybody has a really easy access to get it.
Yeah.
And, maybe it won't be SDCC prices either. And then I will get that one, because Orange Devastator is the Devastator I had as a child. It was the only combiner I ever pieced together as a kid.
Wow.
And I will buy all three.
Yep.
Well, I know. Well, and I will
there.
probably. I may well end up with a green one also. I don't know. Like orange, if an orange one becomes known to exist, that will be my priority Devastator, because orange just on its basis, but also because nostalgia.
I'll even end up with the weird Autobot redeco.
Well, now that's what I was going to say, Rob, is because there is a precedence for the Shattered Glass Constructicons in the red and whites. So we may see that at some point. That could be a BotCon. That could be a BotCon exclusive.
Please no.
Oh, you're
Man.
hurting my brain.
Man, I gotta finance this thing.
Okay, so my please no for G2 Devastator is I don't want to have to spend this money. The please no for Shattered Glass Devastator is that is such a terrible idea.
I don't know. I'd be there too.
I don't need
I don't
another
know.
standard class podcast.
I'm going to say this. When they did the Perseus recolor of Hercules in those Shattered Glass red and whites, it looked really good. It wasn't
really
something...
Perseus?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's awesome.
Perseus.
Yeah, TFC has been naming their combiners after the Greek pantheon.
gods. Yeah.
What was the knockoff's name? Harry Hamlin?
Kevin Sorbo, the combiner.
No, that's the dollar store one.
Yeah, the knockoff Hercules needs to be called Sorbo. That's too perfect.
The thing that scares me about this is probably the San Diego Comic-Con is going to be the first version we get, and I'm going to want to get that so I can do a review of it. So
Likewise.
that's going to bother me a little bit.
So
and on a side note, if you want me to review any products ahead of time, just tweet to or send a Facebook message to Unique Toys or whoever else and tell them you want them to give us review samples to review. That would be really great.
And also for the SDC version, not to make it worse for people like Exvee, but the SD version might be where we get the regular head for Devastator, or the first appearance head with the mouth, or the visor. I'm just saying we might that if we're going to get any kind of variance with this Devastator, San Diego will have the head variants, maybe a weapon variants, maybe a prow thing everyone's talking about. I don't know.
Like besides it would be in a G2 deco. Like that's the most obvious thing, unless they do like Walgreens colors. Besides that, it'll be in a G2 deco. The only real difference is going to be the packaging, I think.
I was just thinking that. Like, what if the San Diego Comic-Con box is the orange metal wall with his little purple hands there, and you open it up? Remember when the movie? Obviously she's going to fold, but
that's fantastic.
Oh,
yeah.
You know
it's going to be $400, and you're going to pay.
You know what? Get the guy who did the Arc box set, the Dinobot Arc box set, and actually have it open up into like a little Autobot City diorama on the inside.
Why don't we work for Hasbro, guys?
Because we would be broke.
Well,
Oh, and
I got
don't
some original
forget-
ideas. I am not getting any job in any toy company soon.
Oh, and one last thing, we could always get a Diaclone version of this at some point too.
Which is essentially the Walgreens colors.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more thing before we move on to the other news subjects, because obviously it's big, but we have other things we need to talk about. In examining the photo, it looks a lot like the arms are connecting onto long haul, not onto hook. So, for anybody who's itching for the IDW version of Devastator right now with Prowl on top, it looks like there could be a good chance that at least a third party could provide something without a lot of trouble.
I'm
If
sure
all it
there's
had
going
to
to
do was
be a
sit on top.
prowl head somewhere, even if
Yeah,
it's on shapeways.
Yeah, some way,
boy.
somehow, there is going to be once that comes out and we know how everything goes together. I am positive there will be Shapeways, Prowl, Devastator heads at the minimum, and if this toy gets, like, look at all the third-party add-on stuff for Metroplex.
Yep.
Metroplex had comparatively limited availability, like, depending what venues you wanted to go through. Like, if you wanted to get one in store, you had about a week's window to do that in the general reporting. You know, depending how available Devastator is, there's a good chance that someone will want to make a figure to interact with it just based on this. Because there's a lot of people wanting Prowl Devastator, at least vocally, whether or not they'll back it up with their money or not. Okay, so moving into the other news, which is almost all also Combiner Wars related. So hope you're interested in Combiner Wars this week.
Hope you're interested for the next 2 years.
Hope you're interested in hearing about that a lot on Toy Fair weekend. Because this conversation we just had about Devastator, there's probably going to be repeats of that all day long.
At least it's not Energon Generation 2.
Let's do that
Yeah,
Let's do
I
it.
mean,
right now.
I mean, considering what they've done with 5-piece combiners, I think if they took another stab at the top and bottom docking, they could get it to work better for the combined forms and the individual figures. Because they are really yeah, I know, Rob. You're all about the top docking.
It is hard to watch my mouth tonight.
Well, I will say
We are
this: if
grateful- we are
it's
grateful for your restraint, Rob Springer.
if it's not any better than animated to symmetrical docking Jetstorm and Jetstream, because hell, the Takara 1990 Brave figures looked better docked than the animated Jets did.
Oh.
Yeah, I went there and I said
No,
Oh.
I don't think Don's entirely wrong.
Don's got his little mug on. Oh, that's right. You heard him.
No, I just think what they're showing us that they can do with combiners right now, I think they could go into other variations of the combining theme and get it better than we've had those things done before. Not
Well, I'm
that
saying-
it-
I'm saying,
you know,
yeah.
not that we have like 15 years of advancement on some of this stuff.
But
You
here's what
know?
I'm saying, and I'm saying this for Brian, since he's not here tonight, because he would say it. Imagine Combiner Wars Duocons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please. Yes.
Imagine anything.
I don't want to
combined.
imagine it. I want to have that. I want Combiner Wars Duocons. I want like that to be extended out to Overlord. Because
Yeah,
Overlord is just a big Duocon.
yeah.
I
I
want
mean,
it all.
Yeah.
because I mean, if they're doing
Even that
Devastator,
Animorph guy.
and- if they're doing
Sure.
Devastator, and he's
Trirex.
six Voyagers, or if they're even if they're upscaled figures, there's no reason we couldn't get two Voyagers in a set as Overlord.
Right.
True.
Yeah. Okay, so we have new inventory listings, which have they've confirmed the rumors of Cyclonus being a Combiner Wars Voyager figure,
Right.
and from the Transformers Battle Tactics game, there's art in that of Cyclonus, which when you examine it, you can see the Silverbolt elements in it. So even though it's not that much of a jump to figure Cyclonus is the retool of Silverbolt, through the game we've basically got that confirmed. And remember the white Optimus torso where we first saw Legends Rodimus? That's apparently also going to be out in the Wave 4. That's called Optimus Maximus.
That is such a great name to reuse.
It is. It really
It's
is.
not a bad name.
No.
It's
No,
just
I mean,
tarnished by the last time.
That's
Yeah,
a lot better than just naming it Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, this still means there's a leader Ultra Magnus out there that is not an Optimus Prime with two white Optimus Prime faces, and I'm very happy about that.
It's happening, guys.
Yes.
No, but like, we've got, Ultra Prime's not a bad name either for the current Optimus's Combiner mode. Omega Prime was always a cool sounding name. And it's good to see Optimus Maximus getting reused too. I think we could see, I think Optimal Optimus is worth bringing back up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit out there, but it's not that bad.
Maybe that'll be Optimus Maximus's combined form name.
Well, I was thinking, if Optimus Maximus is not itself the combined form name, because it sounds like a combined form name, I was thinking Omega Prime might be what that ends up being.
That could be.
The other interesting thing in this inventory listing is Decepticon Viper, who through the same game source we've found to be a Power Glide recolor that looks an awful lot like a Cobra Rattler.
Fantastic.
Yes, that is
Yes.
that is. Even though I was slightly disappointed in Power Glide's plain mode, I will still rebuy it to be a Cobra Rattler.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
Here's my thing. So, from that art, the robot mode kind of looks like a Cobra Viper Trooper, and that kind of makes me want to get a bunch of these and troop build them.
I always wanted for them to do a Rattler that turns into a robot, a Transformer, and its robot mode to look like Wild Weasel. I'm not getting that. It's not going to work out. But this Cobra Viper that turns into a Rattler,
Yeah.
that's going to work, man.
Maybe one day we'll get a Cobra Rattler where Wild Weasel is the headmaster.
Don, I like the way you're thinking currently. And then we can get a Tiger Force 1.
Well, this does sort of lead to my opinion, slightly, very slightly. If you
John, what have we
squint-
told you about having opinions?
opinions, I know, but about using GI Joe's current comic success and the success of Transformers to relaunch GI Joe. This could be the opening test to see if one could begot the other.
Now, what
Or
I'm
it
wondering
could just be
is...
like a one-off reference like Mask was.
Oh,
in
yeah, it
G.I.
could
Joe.
be. I'm just wondering if maybe this isn't planned just to sort of test the waters of, is there enough Joe people who would buy this and vice versa.
This is probably just a, what can we repaint this figure into?
It's perfect,
Oh,
though.
There's a few things they could have done with this. Like, they could have gone the GoBots route.
They probably will.
Yeah, probably. If not them, BotCon will.
BotCon.
For
Eventually.
Bad Boy.
Yeah.
For life.
The other thing, though, is completely lost my train of thought because of BotCon. Damn it, BotCon. No. The other thing, though, I'm wondering if we won't see at least a cameo of this in the G.I. Joe versus Transformers comic book right now. Once
That'd
a
be
new issue
awesome.
actually comes out after 4 or 5 months.
That would be awesome. Can I say something about Cyclonus real quick?
Sure.
And I'm going to watch my GD language.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of negativity about the idea of reusing Silverbolt as Cyclonus, and I get that because they're thinking it's going to be a straight repaint with maybe antennas glued on. But I'm going to say, let's use that thing between our ears that makes us type things wrong in Facebook. Let's churn it back to just a month ago when Chromia came out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's turn that back a little bit more to Sandstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go forward thinking, why would we not keep going on this path?
Well, I think what the disconnect is people are thinking Cyclonus is going to be a combiner.
There is a little of that, too.
There's a little of that, and that's fair. But when they start going, this is going to look horrible, we have no clue and nothing to ground anything on anymore when it comes to these remodels.
I mean,
But
the
stay
boards-
tuned to our live Toy Fair coverage where
when it happens to be a
10
straight...
days.
Yeah.
What happens to the
I mean,
V repaint? And I'm like, I was wrong.
Yep. I mean, there's nothing saying that if they retool Silverbolt into Cyclonus, and he still has the ports, who says you got to use them?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just because they're there and not factored out, do you have to use them for anything?
Don, if
And
there's a
like-
hole, I'm gonna use it.
So, like the whole thing with Combiner Wars, and one of the reasons that the first two waves have the teams mixed is to promote the idea of any limb can attach to any torso. You can make any combiner you want to out of compatible figures. You know, Cyclonus at this point
And it's
does not have a
Armada.
team associated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Boom.
But there's no like recolor specifically or any really specifically associated with Cyclonus. Right now, it's just a spare torso. So you know you can take that just like Optimus and build your own combiner around that frame.
So can
Just give me a
BotCon
deluxe
give
scourge
us?
so I can have all sweeps for limbs.
That's what I was gonna say. Can we get like all sweeps for limbs? Like BotCon maybe do a set for us.
Yep, the sweeps will be recolored from Alpha Bravo.
Then he would look like the Machine Robo Rescue figure. So you get two homages out of it.
Now,
There you go.
here's what I was thinking. This would be so awesome if Cyclonus comes out getting repainted as Jetstorm for a BotCon exclusive.
Sort of a reverse homage.
Exactly.
I mean,
Hopefully
that's-
no metal flake this time.
That's kind
No
of
kidding.
too. That's
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm digging this line of thought. You are onto something good here. I don't want to see it be a BotCon exclusive because I don't want to have to be wanting to buy it. But
Well,
I
current
think
and because the prior management would put it in a replica box. Spare no expense. Put this in a box straight out of 2000.
so we got our first in-hand pictures of Generations Motormaster at this point from a few different sources, and the
Speaking of
one
what's-
thing.
Sorry,
Well,
so-
this is kind of like dovetailing into like two things I want to bring together here. So the one thing we can really see from these pictures is that Motormaster is really damn different from Optimus Prime.
Once again, this remolding thing.
So basically, the only thing that is directly shared between Optimus and Motormaster is the legs down.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Legs down.
90+% of the upper body is all new parts between them.
They're kind of
Which goes
close though.
When you share engineering, you can change up the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can change all the when you change all the detailing, it's new parts.
Mhm.
Even though it's all working the same way together, it's different stuff on different steel molds. So it is over 50% by volume new parts.
Right.
It's kind of a pity in a way that they're keeping the legs, which were the worst part of Ultra Prime, but
And also the second most Optimus part of that mold
yes,
because of those leg vents.
yeah.
Somewhere
like,
there's a
I-
designer going, I thought they were vague.
I could have kept the arms being identical between them, for instance, and had the lower legs be changed
Yeah.
instead to give them more of a different identity. But as it is, I'm really impressed by the level of remolding.
Oh yeah.
Also, along the Motormaster track, there's been in-hand pictures of Legends Blackjack that came out yesterday, and there's two takeaways from this. Blackjack is said to feel like a small deluxe in terms of its engineering and articulation. Like
Ooh,
it even
yeah.
has separate bicep swivels. Reportedly.
More articulation than the last Blackjack.
The other thing is that it does not dock onto Motormaster well at all.
So those
wasn't
docking
planning to do it
nipples
anyway.
aren't
No,
doing
the
their
docking
job.
nipples aren't doing it.
Well, not everything works for
And-
everybody, guys.
And I saw Evangelist tweet that floor polish is not something that can easily fix that. So
No, because the problem, as I see it, looking at the pictures, one of the two sockets on Blackjack is split between what becomes the robot's legs. So if those parts are not perfectly flush together, the socket is not going to have the tension it needs to hold onto the peg, so the connection's not going to be solid.
Okay, so third party needs to make a very tight black rubber band.
I think you can buy those at hardware stores.
Yeah, they're called washers.
Guys, I got a genius idea for a company. I'll go to Home Depot. You start the site.
Third-party gaskets for everyone.
Here's my repair kit.
Well,
A washer and a bottle of glue.
Well, I was thinking when you were saying when you squeeze the legs together, it's like each side of the leg has a half the hole, and when you put it together, so you need something to keep the legs pegged together tightly to keep that hole tight, right?
Like a chastity belt?
That's how it works.
I hate you guys.
Hey.
So where I want to go from the Menasor thing is something we have a little farther down that we were going to throw to in more news on TFormers, but I think it's actually relevant to discuss from what we've been talking about. I actually sat down and looking at the game art and looking at Silverbolt, figured out, okay, what parts need to be changed to get us from one to the other. And using what they did with Optimus as a basis, and especially since the example of Chromia has been brought up too, because it's a very similar situation, if not a little more extreme. Basically, if you change out the torso pieces on Silverbolt for ones that are styled to look like Cyclonus, you can get a good Cyclonus out of that that's consistent with the game art. Because
this game.
Yes.
How the freak do you get it? Because somebody's apparently playing it, and it is not on any iOS shop I've been looking at.
I think it's in beta, so...
They need to beta it to the shop so I can play it. They can VHS it.
I just got this on Laserdisc.
Master, I don't care. I don't care if it's on UHF. Put that thing out, man. Clearly, somebody has access to it who also uses the Allspark.
So, like, you could leave Silverbolt's limbs alone and just change out the torso pieces for different styled pieces to match what Cyclonus should look like, and that's not beyond what we've been seeing happen in retools. What's been going on with retools has been kind of out of our experience. For what we've known for years about how the process of retooling a toy works, and this is even going a little bit beyond what started being done in pre-planning from 2008 when they first did it with Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, where we're getting like half the toy built with alternate parts to make it completely different. And even Chromia is a case where they went back and made like a whole new tooling to just change up this toy rather than make a new one. It's really weird and it's really counterintuitive from everything we've ever learned. But like, this is the reality we have right now, and when you start accepting what's possible in it, things that sound really weird start to make a lot more sense.
Crazy works.
Sometimes. Just ask the monkey.
That's right.
So wrapping up the Combiner Wars news, we have official images and product description for Leader Class Thundercracker. Rob, you found this.
Yes, I did, and well, it's definitely a Thundercracker.
Blue Jet.
Yep, comes with all of the Jetfire parts except the backpack, far as I can tell.
And
no backpack?
No backpack and no chrome.
And a couple.
No
new
backpack.
guns.
Same
with
price.
Jets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
Is
new
it
guns
mask
are
over
about the
his
same
face?
price.
It's the same price, but it's got new parts.
Yeah.
Like new tooling parts.
So what you're saying is there no backpack with jets, no mask over his face?
Yep.
Right.
You know what? Genius. When you
Now,
tap the
do y'all
same
think-
vein twice, you give them a little less for the same price.
Now, do y'all think we'll get the other two out of this at some point? As far as
Somewhere a
relatively-
drug dealer is running Hasbro.
I think we will, and I hope they put them out at the same time. That way, we don't get flooded with a a single box of all the same figure.
If they
Oh,
got
it's
it
like
to the point if they got to that point, I could kind of see them doing it because they're putting out Generation 1 style Megatron and Armada Megatron in a case together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I see some Cyberjet homages, I'm good.
Damn
Not-
right.
I just have a
I'm not
feeling
going to.
we're going to be swimming in
Leader
these.
class hooligan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you tease me, Matt. Don't you tease me.
Oh, okay, and that's another thing too. Like from the Universe Silverbolt mold, we got Walmart exclusive Skyjack. So from the Cyclonus retool of Combiner Wars Silverbolt, I want to see Space Case,
Guys,
Yeah.
and then
why don't-
Leader Class Hooligan.
work with me, Exvee.
All right.
They take the jet dudes,
Mhm.
and we get a Cyberjet combiner team.
Who would be the fourth limb?
It doesn't matter, does it?
Alpha Bravo.
And they could literally put out like 6 of them.
It'll just be G2 colors Alpha Bravo, which is not to say Slingshot's G2 colors. Just make up a G2 color scheme for Alpha Bravo.
I just had a better idea.
Yes.
Predators combiner team.
Oh yeah, I've been
Sky
thinking
Quay.
about that too. Hmm.
Just make up a guy.
Yeah.
All the old rules are kind of out the window, aren't they? We're getting recolors in the same case as the original. We're getting remolds that we thought were impossible.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, guys. It's not G1. So it can be a little. It can
Well,
be.
I mean, it's not even like classics. The rules have
No.
changed compared to 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
I mean,
this is basically Transformers, the current toy line.
Yeah, it
So
is.
it-
And like
because-
this is
Your
this
childhood
is
is
the result
over.
of this is the result of a whole new group of people with different ideas and different approaches, and they're putting that out there and getting stuff done, and I kind of like it.
It
You're
is
making
awesome.
traditional looking Transformers that appeal to a broad line of tastes.
And on the exact
I'm
opposite note, our next news item, which I'm going to read off the title I gave this because I really like it. The King is Dead. Fun Publications to retire the classic Seeker mold.
Guys, I don't know who to
Hooray!
taste.
Wait, this
And
means
I
we have
see
to
the steak.
believe Fun Publications.
well, also, it did say they have no plans to
Right.
reuse that mold.
Currently.
That's why I put
No
retire in
current
quotation.
plans.
Yeah.
What this actually means. Okay, let's push all the broiler plate aside. Let's push it away. The mold is worn out, and Hasbro's not refurbing it.
Mhm.
That's what that
I've seen-
means.
I've seen that speculation floated, but there is literally like 5 different iterations of the toolings for the Seeker mold, and they could switch to a different one if they really wanted to use it again.
Don't you break my heart, Exvee.
Well, I'm just saying,
I'm living on a prayer.
I'm just saying with the War for Cybertron the Fall of Cybertron jet figures, they're not my favorite, but they are there. You've got all the new aerial bots. They have more jet molds they can now default to for future things, and they can give something different to break up the box sets compared to years past. That being said, if the Kara says this is what's available and it's a classic Seeker mold, they still may have to use it just because that's all they've got to work with as far as the best option for the character they're doing.
Here's
So
Maybe, I think all the uses of the classic Seeker mold so far have just been with the interpretation of, well, the fandom likes this mold a lot, so let's just keep using it. And
That's
Yes.
partially my fault. I have the secret
Yes,
set,
it is.
so I keep buying it. So
Here's the double-edged sword to this. FunPub announces we're not going to make Seekers anymore. We're retiring our use of that mold. At the same time, Hasbro put out a Bumblebee mold that could double for just about any car bot in the history of Transformers.
uh-huh,
RIDB.
Uh-huh.
the IDW.
Yep. So, I'm
Uh-huh.
up for some GoBot homages.
Hey,
Hey.
I would love
fight
them.
changers.
Well, heck,
Woo!
the
Windbreaker.
the RID strong arm is begging for a small foot retool and recolor.
I mean, you could do a few things with that too. Just I mean, it doesn't have to be like GoBot or Spy Changer or anything like that.
No,
Like,
it has to be GoBot.
It's almost anybody. It's such a vague and yet to the point styling. I mean, look at the Legion toy. it literally shares proportions with like 1 million different car robot toys. No, I'm not talking about line. I mean, just car bot types guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a sports car. I turn into a vaguely angular yet blocky robot.
I can't say I'm sad to see. I can't say I'm sad to see the classic Seeker mold finally lose its last outlet. As I hope they stick with that for a long time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can say I remember being excited to see that Starscream in 2006.
Oh, so was I. When
Yeah.
I saw that in the store, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Even up to 2010, when Thundercracker and Thrust finally came out at Walmart, I was excited to get them. I still have Thrust back up on the shelf. When the Fall of Cybertron figure came out, though, Thundercracker, Skywarp, and both Starscreams I had went. They got replaced.
Yeah.
There's the thing. It's not even that. It's more to the point that you're like, okay.
Well, in the press release, didn't they say they were responsible? There's been like 31 uses of that mold, and they've done like
Most
how
of
many?
them.
Half of
Most-
them.
they've
At
done
least
most
half
of
of them.
Yeah.
What this basically means is if you tell them enough times, by the 300th time, they'll get a hint.
Yeah. I just find it
But we've still
interesting
got
that
two more uses coming before it goes
Yeah.
away.
I just find
You
it
just watch
interesting
it.
that the announcement
Dolphins
that
won't
they
be
have
stuck
no
on
more. I find it interesting the announcement they have no more plans comes on the heels of, well, here's 2 of them in one subscription service, and they haven't exactly had the most positive reaction.
Yeah.
They might have finally got the message this time.
And it also could be Star Wars syndrome. They have nothing left to repaint those guys into.
They
covered-
can repaint it into anything.
We got in a cell.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that's the
Like
last.
all they have to do is put a color wheel up on the wall and get some darts.
There's still that G2 unused ramjet deco.
Yeah.
Buy that.
There's the
were
sandstorm colored
G2
one. Is that
Sandstorm
the one you-
deco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Black
Forgot
Death
about that.
Starscream.
Yeah,
Just
there
watch
is
an
a-
episode of G1. There's another idea.
You
I
know
don't
we're
think
just
they ever
giving
actually-
FunPub more ideas, though.
I don't think they ever actually did just the purple Seeker either, did they?
We got one in the Rainmaker
Blasters-
set.
Yeah.
That wasn't a Rainmaker.
Well, they're Air Warriors, but they called them the Rainmakers. Believe me, I know they're not the Rainmakers. If they were the
I had-
Rainmakers, I would buy them.
I had to stop myself when you said purple one. I was like, yeah, is that box set from 03, different company.
That was
Different
the Heroes of Cybertron,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay, so
Got it.
last news item. From some Robots in Disguise inventory information. We've got upcoming Warrior class figures, Jazz, and woo. I gotta open this because Jazz is the only name I remember.
Jazz Sideswipe,
Sideswipe, thank you.
Fracture,
Fracture, and Mega
And
Windblade.
Wingblade,
Yeah.
Windblade. Can't say her name, Blade.
Yeah, Windblade in the Legion class, which I found to be kind of an interesting thing.
I think this is going to be just basically bleed off Legion class for generations.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering that too, but at the same time, I'm not surprised if they would want to expand the Windblade character concept out into the other media.
Wouldn't hurt.
No,
And in
not at
fact,
all.
if you think about the Sarah Stone art of Windblade, is that how you say it? I keep saying Wingblade. Is it Wingblade or Windblade?
Wind.
Okay. Jenny from the block, her jet toy. If you look at the Sarah Stone's art of Jenny in her comic, it's really kind of got that sort of animated look to it. You know, the way
Yeah.
she drew her. It would really lend itself to the new
I think so,
red
too.
look. Or Transformers Adventures. Can we agree that's a better name?
Well, it's at least a different name.
Yes.
It's a better name because it says Transformers Adventures. Transformers
Don.
Rid, not that Rid, this Rid.
You don't
So,
have
Don,
to
do you
specify
think-
with. Yeah.
Hate Life.
Don, do you think when they do a sequel to this Transformers series, they'll call it Transformers Adventure 02?
That would be awesomely wonderful. But then if they do a third season, we can't call it 03 just then because.
No, you'd have to call it. You either have to call it Transformers Adventure Try, or it'd be a reboot and they call it Transformers Tamers.
I hope by the third season it gets some arbitrary second title that doesn't get referenced at all, but yet it's on everything.
Right.
Like
Battle for the
Beast Hunters
Spark.
was.
Wait, shouldn't it be RID and then the next season is going to be Energon?
No,
Armada, actually.
Armada.
Guys,
RID Generation 2.
no, it should be get rid. I got the
acronym though.
get rid.
I think it's funny that they actually, they came out and just announced that Steeljaw is the leader of Decepticons, and now the next wave is going to have like a Megatronus in it. So, what's he going to be doing?
Did you guys?
Yeah, that's a curious one.
Did you guys see the animated commercial from overseas?
I didn't get a chance to look at it today.
It is quite fun. Some little kid on the beach, Bumblebee all drives up, and it's kind of subpar commercial CGI, but it's still fun. And he transforms, and Steeljaw climbs out of the sand. And he's all like, I'm impressive. And it's like, they're going to fight. And the kid's like, I don't know what he's saying. It wasn't in English, and I didn't have the volume up. But, it was like, this is I'm so excited to see someone other than Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a bad leader.
Yeah, matter of fact, they posted it without sound because it's actually a German commercial that they wanted to put up on the site. So they just left the sound effects and didn't have any voices or anything on it.
So basically, I need to redub this, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Yes,
right,
you do.
let me load up
But now,
that film.
Chris, this goes back to what you and Brian were saying. Both of y'all were saying a long time ago, how it's nice to how nice it would be to not have a Megatron Optimus focus in a new series, and we're finally getting that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm
Optimus is playing his Jaga role right now, but it's nice to have not Optimus in charge. I wish it could have been like Rodimus, just to get another new character. Not that I don't like Bumblebee, and especially with Will Friedle doing his voice, that's always a plus. But it's nice to see that Optimus Megatron not there from the get-go.
Yeah, I'm interested in the series for the setup it has, and the toy line even looks intriguing too.
Yeah.
I am so wanting to see what Steeljaw's personality is like, because he does not look like a threatening person. He looks like he should be a good guy. So seeing him as the leader of the bad guys is like, man, I hope he is like just the worst, because you can see it's a puppy dog blow up the planet.
No, I'm guessing more like Wolverine, since his, just the whole.
I hope not. I'm the best, bub. Oh yeah, you say it every 5 minutes, June. I know it's. I keep hearing Beast Wars Ravage's voice coming out of him. That or the guy from Fits and the Tantrums. I don't know why either, but.
Well, that Ravage would be an interesting recolor re-release of that mold.
Here is a bit of interesting trivia for you guys about that Ravage voice. Lee Talker told me himself he was just imitating Tom Waits if he was Russian. So Beast Wars Ravage is Russian Tom Waits.
Excellent.
The more you know that you didn't need to know, really, ever.
So, with all this new toy information coming out, you might be wondering, what would be a good place for me to buy some of these new Transformers toys when they come out? Well, we just happen to have the answer for you. Because if you like the podcast and you'd like to do something to help us out without, we don't really take donations directly, but if you really want to help, you could go to tfradio.net/Amazon. And from there, there's like the entirety of Amazon before you. And, anything you buy after going to that link, we'll get a little bit back from that. It doesn't cost you any more money. It actually costs Amazon a little bit of money because they take out of their cut to give to us. So if you want to help us and stick it to Amazon at the same time, you should go and tfradio.net/Amazon. It's really easy. You just go through that and you go about business as normal.
Because when you click that link and that page opens, all you're going to think is, "Behold, Amazon."
And I just want to put this out there: no matter what you buy, we won't know.
Right.
So.
You can buy that circumcision training kit, and we will not know it's you.
There's some weird crap on Amazon, and we're not going to judge you because we won't know.
I mean, I just told you one weird thing that actually is on Amazon because I've seen it myself.
Why did you look that up?
Gigabeetle showed me.
The aftermarket of the days.
Why did he look it up?
He's Gigabeetle. He's sweet. He's Swedish. You're looking it up now too, aren't you, Rob?
No. I'm commenting.
You know, you could say that in the stream too. That's not a bad thing. That's actually kind of funny.
Why do I know who Giggle Beetle is? Now, I hear this guy.
Beetle's
He's
famous.
Is he? I hear his name on
He's
Twitter. I
internet
hear his name
famous.
on his show.
He's
I'm like,
more,
he takes-
he's more famous than me.
He takes pictures of figure art stuff, and like his best known work included Godzilla with Batman's head. Like that got reposted everywhere.
So, does he got a music video or something?
No, but I'll suggest that to him sometime.
Yeah.
Tell him Taylor Swift's "Shake It Off" is always a good. Don loves it.
But hey, if you want to buy some figure arts and try your hand at
This
being a
got
good
the
beetle
stink
yourself,
eye.
you could go tfradio.net/Amazon and get you some, because all those Bluefin figure arts, they're on Amazon.
Yeah, and for Sailor Moon fans, Uranus is coming out soon if she's not already out.
And hey, for the Gundam fans who've been waiting forever, Faster Asia next month. Actually, later this
Yes.
month, because it's February now.
Yes.
And hey, guys, like a USB drive or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy one of
They're
those
cheap
knockoff
there.
Ravage USB drives.
It's like $4.
I mean, it'll break before you get out of the package, but you can have one.
it's sitting over there. I ain't opening it again. The mouth will stay shut on that thing.
All right, so let's take a quick break, and we'll come back. I didn't know if you were gonna do that, and I didn't want to.
Okay, so we're back. We only have a couple third-party items. We're gonna move through what we got left pretty quick, because we've run long this week because I'm hosting. So we have computer model images for X-Transbots' new Master Miniseries figure Arcos. And if you have no idea what that word means, it refers to a specific variety of sandstone, because Beachcomber. This is a not-Beachcomber.
They should just call it patchouli.
But you?
Hippies.
Yeah.
Incense.
I was gonna say it shoots incense, but that's a close enough idea to it being the bong, I guess. I don't really think like the Beachcomber idea works with something being named after sandstone, because you don't really have sandstone on the surface of your beach.
Nope.
Yeah.
As
No,
someone who works in stone. Nope.
right.
Yeah. Nope.
But I mean,
That crap's hard.
The model looks okay. I mean, it's certainly a Beachcomber robot mode, and that's a desert vehicle mode.
Yeah, it's
It's,
nice
it's
looking.
just it's just that of all the third parties that I've dealt with, X-Transbots is one of the ones I don't have anything by them, but I've heard so much mixed pros and cons. I love the way it looks. I mean, it looks so much better than the last the iGear Beachcomber.
Well,
But-
it's completely different things. This is one of the like masterpiece style.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
not a like mini bot style thing.
right.
It's
I just don't know about the construction or the quality. And I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying I just don't know about
Right.
X-Transbots.
Well, their plastic quality was kind of iffy from what I've heard. I never got that figure, but I think their big make or break figure is going to be the Megatron that's coming out.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
I did get to handle the Ollie at TFCon, and that plastic quality was kind of scary.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I will say, as far as this computer model, the way it looks well balanced. I mean, it's the silhouette is nice.
Yeah.
I like the face. Him having the gun, he's in a war. He has a gun. That's no big thing there.
It shoots blanks. He just has it for show.
But
Like there's a regulation that everybody has to carry a gun, so he just carries this dummy gun around with him, so nobody asks him questions, and he just like stays at the back of the line when the shooting starts.
They should put an orange cap on it.
Yeah.
or actually a gold cap in it because it shoots electrum bullets.
No, I like the orange cap idea. That's actually kind of good.
well,
But
you know,
But depending on the price, I will definitely be looking at this once the sample reviews hit, because I mean that and what we have coming up next are a nice pair of figures.
Well, the whole hippie thing has pretty much sailed its course, and this is a modern-day take on Beachcomber. So I'd like to think he's a YouTube juggalo, and that's his like toy gun he makes in all of his crappy YouTube videos.
Juggalo or Gigolo?
So
No
on
one
the
tells
opposite on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have color test shot photos of Bad Cube's War Dog Warpath figure, which I actually really like the way this looks.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really cool design, and they got that color really good on there. That is a sharp-looking figure.
It's burgundy, but not quite burgundy, and it's just...
It's a little short from, like, brick red.
Yeah.
They really got that red color. It's a really, really Warpath-looking red.
Yeah, there's not many reds on Transformers that look like this red. In fact, this is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But looking at the vehicle mode, if this thing comes close to what it looks like in vehicle mode, I don't see hardly any seams. I mean...
Yeah, like, all the seams are probably hidden along, like, the natural panel lines of the tank.
Yeah. I mean, because looking at the treads, I don't see a big gaping chunk of seam lines where the treads break up.
Yeah.
And usually that's the first sign of tank transformers where the treads fall apart and reassemble. So I love the way this looks.
Yeah, no, this is really good looking, and Bad Cube's gotten some, I guess, a little bit mixed press on their last couple figures, but hopefully this turns out as good as it looks.
Yeah. Well, the reason I didn't look at their Brawn and Outback versions is those characters hold very little interest for me. I really don't need a... But now Beachcomber and especially Warpath, those two are some more of my favorite, some more characters that I like, and I would not mind a Masterpiece level figure to go with the other, like Bumblebee and everybody else.
So, Rob Springer, do you know why Outback holds any importance for me personally?
You love them steaks.
World's worst fanfic.
Oh, yes, thank you.
So, like,
jogging the memory.
Characters like Outback or Blot or Ramjet, aka Pope Man, these characters have significance for me because of these, like, horrible parody fanfics from literally 15 plus years ago that still just exist in my head and basically, like, define those characters.
My favorite was the Ultra Magnus one, where he opened a bottle of Pepsi, looked to see if he won, and he didn't, and he just put it back. And Clifton was like, "That's the most emotion I've seen from that guy ever."
Which really is not, which is too far from the truth.
It's just like, he opened, looked, it said he was not a winner, try again, and then took a drink and closed the bottle.
And Scorponok died.
Yes.
Okay, so we got more news on TFormers.com. We've posted so much news over the last week on Combiner Wars and Masterpiece stuff and all kinds of topics here. We got a few of the highlights. Rob, why don't you tell us about what some of the stuff we posted this week?
Okay, well, of course, on Monday, you posted our review of More Than Meets the Eye number 37, which that's a really good issue.
Yeah, it is. It's basically the tipping point for the current Elegant Chaos storyline, and if you're into, like, complex, layered sci-fi stories, I mean, this is the storyline for you right now.
Yeah.
Personally, my interest in how this is going to resolve, which this issue was delayed from January, so 38 is going to come along sometime this month, next week, or maybe the week after. But my interest is really more in, like, the character arc getting resolved more than the sci-fi, because I can see where the sci-fi is going, but the character side is what's really, that's the head scratcher right now. But really good issue.
Yeah. We've also got photos of the Age of Extinction / Lost Age Advanced Series Stinger, which of course is just a recolor of the current Bumblebee. Which
I'm sure people are going to be glad that there's an option. I kind of regret that there's not a toy that has the Pagani alt mode, though.
Yeah. And lastly, Hisashi Yuki posted to Twitter a boxed image of Legends RC, which it's a decent-looking package. And unfortunately, this is like the second picture in a row he's tweeted that we can tell it has the open hands and not the closed ones.
That's kind of a shame. Don, you getting one of these?
I've got one on pre-order, but after seeing it in package, it's just the packaging to me looks so nice, and it's such a great looking display piece. I'll probably be leaving it in the box just for display. I may pick up another one to open, but it's just the way it's displayed is just so nice. I may not even open it. It all depends on if I can open it, like if it's like a collector friendly kind of package.
Well, those boxes are usually, you can open them non-destructively.
Yeah, I just like it without the black. It's just a little more accurate for me.
I kind of lost interest when we found out it had the open hands that can't hold the weapons properly. Like with my Hasbro one, I shaved the bar off the bottom of the hand so the pegs can slide in farther. But I don't want to have to do that with an import, and especially when there's the risk that doing that's weaken the hand a little bit.
Yeah. The other thing I want to add is that looking at the loose sample on top of the box, it does kind of look like the white paint is not covering the pink arms so well.
Well, it's white paint. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks almost like a tint of salmon.
Mm-hmm.
The salmon color.
Salmon?
Salmonella.
Salmon.
What'd you do to that toy, man?
I'm just wondering if it's some kind of reflection from the photography.
Perhaps.
That's
No, I think it's
possible.
just that white paint is terrible.
But yeah, I'll definitely be getting hers. They have the two main variations.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Judging against her face, it could be intentional, but we'll find out.
Yep.
So
She's due out relatively soon.
Same day as
14th.
Toy Fair.
Speaking of which, nice segue, gentlemen. So, Toy Fair is coming up right around the corner. It's Valentine's Day. But I don't think you have any conflicting engagements, so you should be here and watch it with us. So, since Toy Fair is coming up, I thought, we should reflect on previous Toy Fairs and, the awesome and interesting and baffling things that have happened over the years. Now, Don, Rob Springer, you guys have been around the fandom for a long time. You remember the old days of Toy Fair coverage?
Yeah.
Yep. A few days later.
Yeah, or in my case, waiting for Tow Mart's or Lee's action figure and toy.
I was there, Don. I know. I mean, I was in high school, but I was there.
Or Toy Fair.
Yeah.
So,
Going to Barnes and
earliest-
Nobles. There it is.
my earliest memory of Toy Fair is Deathy. Because there was a couple of years there were Deathy, the eternal presence on Alt Toys Transformers in one iteration or another, always claimed to have talked his way into Toy Fair, which at the time was a more tightly controlled, like retailer and legitimate press only event.
Yeah, now they let us in, so.
Right, Hasbro actually made a fan media day specifically because we became such a force in terms of where the coverage needs to go. But back then, you really had to work to get access to it if you were not an established news outlet or a representative of a retailer. But Deathy always claimed to talk his way in and usually had just enough information to back up the claim, and usually Deathy's visits did not end happily for everything on display. For example, there was one year where he destroyed the sample packaging for Transmetal 2 Megatron trying to take it off the display to read the tech spec. The following year, he broke Beast Wars Mutant Soundwave. Although, since that toy is 100% gold plastic, that's not a hard thing to do.
Ain't touching it ever again.
Yeah, I've got one hanging up in bat mode off of a shelf on the other side of the room, and that thing ain't moving or transforming ever again.
He's in a Ziploc bag in a Rubbermaid container. One day I'm just going to open up and have to heartbreak. I really like this toy.
And we'll never see it again.
I'm not throwing away this bag of dust.
So I think in terms of the actual presentation, one of the most interesting things that happened in old days of Toy Fair was when they announced Robots in Disguise. Because that was kind of a quick change from the previous plan of a Beast Machines follow-up series. And as the story goes, the Hasbro people actually had to go to Image Anime in New York City, buy some Car Robots toys to put on the display.
And
So that's how short notice it was.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get samples from Takara to display. They had to go buy retail products.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, this is great. And I just imported the entire first wave.
I'm right there with you, Don.
Because, I mean, myself and my friend Fred, we saw the pictures.
My man Fred.
My friend Fred, we saw the pictures of Fire Convoy. We had to have him. He looked awesome. So we imported him.
And then he got him.
and then we saw the pictures of JRX, the Car Robot Brothers. It's like, these will never come out in the U.S., man. We have got to import them. We found good prices online. We imported most of the first wave, and then
they saw Ultra Magnus and went, "Wow, what a piece of crap."
No, I know the Ultra Magnus has some issues. I do not believe it is as flawed of a toy as y'all say it is.
It's a good toy.
But yeah, that wasn't one of my happier memories when I saw the U.S. retails versus what we paid to import. It was like, you're kidding. Because I basically, on the way down to BotCon 2000 in Durham, BotCon 2001, 2001, after a while they all run together. I'm sorry.
I understand.
I found Optimus and Magnus at retail at the Walmart in Burlington for less than what I imported Optimus by himself for.
Yeah, that's about right. Because the only things I had from Car Robots were Fire Convoy and Gigatron, and Fire Convoy was like $65, $70 from where I got it.
But I'll be honest, to this day, even though I know I overpaid, I do not regret importing that toy because Fire Convoy is one of the best Optimus Primes ever.
No, it's not, but I'm glad for you anyway, Don.
I remember at the time, Don, I was in community college, couldn't afford to import these awesome looking toys. And when I found out it was happening, I was like, yeah! Yeah! Oh, yeah! Let me check ATT. Oh, they mad.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
I remember
that.
On the way to BotCon 01, I did stop at some Walmarts. And they weren't that neat, and it was just still Beast Machine stuff. Got back from BotCon, really shouldn't have spent any money. Hey, I was out of college at this point, but I was eking by in an apartment with my roommate. The apartment I had in college was like $150 a month, and I still couldn't afford that crap. And we were like pirating copies of the subtitled cartoons because he worked part-time at an anime store. And
awesome.
I remember so those subtitled 4 episodes of video, whatever.
Yeah.
We'd bring them home and we'd pirate them just so we could watch them. So I had like the whole show on like blank VHS. And I was like, yeah. And like my stupid lunch break came at the stupid Office Max. I went across the street to Toys R Us. Spy Changers! Like within 1 week.
The first thing I found too.
I bought the entire first wave, and it was like, all right, let me check my bank account. I've got $20 left me to payday 2 weeks away.
See, that's the one thing. That's the one thing we did not import was the Spy Changers because we had all the GoBots from Generation 2, so we really didn't want the Spy Changers.
I was literally like, I am not liking the way this Transtech thing is sounding. And the thing is, just what I wanted was the Autobots and Maximals to team up. But I kept like, oh, not that really expensive thing's coming to Walmart. I can have Optimus and eat them this month.
It may be ramen, but you're going to eat.
Man, I threw little hot dogs in that ramen. I had a little extra $1.
And let's skip to last year since that's the main one I remember. And last year,
I think Armada though the year after that was like it was the first thing that really felt like here's the big new thing that's coming, and like they were really like hyping up the reveal for that because there was even like a full page thing in the magazine before Toy Fair happened. And that, I mean that kind of sets the stage for the kind of stuff we've had over the last few years. So, Diecast, what did you have for last year?
This is why you had to wait a year with RID because of this.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather had more RID.
Let me paint the picture of the fandom at the time. Late summer, early fall, Robots in Disguise came out. The cartoon came out. All this was going on. By November, we were already in the know about Armada and talking about it.
We at least had like the line name Armada.
Rumor Central for so many months there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I remember being like, can I please enjoy the rest of this line?
Nope, you sure can't. So
good thing I liked Armada, so I didn't throw it away.
Yeah, last year we kind of knew about Jetfire going in, but things that were surprise were we got the photos of Jetfire, but we also got Roadbuster, Skybite. I remember the G.I. Joe Terrordrome. That was kind of a shock. So
still ain't got it.
It was like $50 at Toys R Us. You should have been able to.
Showed up at mines.
No, online during like Black Friday.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean there was a lot of the movie toys were there, of course, which I don't think just a spoiler, we're not going to get any movie toys this year.
Man,
we barely got any movie toys last year.
Yeah.
Man,
like, we got a whole bunch of one toy last year, but we didn't get much of a line last year.
Yeah, I mean we saw Galvatron last year. We saw I don't know.
We saw about half of the movie line, and they held back the last wave's worth of stuff for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
What a weird world we live in.
But I mean, last year is not even like the biggest Toy Fair thing we've had since RFC's come back full time. You know, I mean, just the year before that, there was Metroplex.
Oh.
And that was like one of the biggest things to hit us in terms of Toy Fair reveals that I can ever remember.
Yeah, that was something that I think a lot of people just caught everybody off guard.
Yeah.
When was the last time? I mean, I think before that, when was the last time we got a surprise like that, where it's like, what?
Because Metroplex wasn't even spoiled in like press release stuff, if I remember right. It showed up in the showroom first. Yeah, because even Bruticus before that was on maybe MTV's website.
We knew it was coming,
right?
And then it's like, well, there's Toy Fair. What is that? Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, this year we know Devastator's coming ahead of time, and I kind of regret that because that feels like that was supposed to be this year's Metroplex. It was supposed to be this year's thing that nobody's supposed to know this is coming until they walk into that showroom and, you know, Devastator just knocks them on their asses.
Yeah, I would have really, really preferred we had not found out about Devastator until the actual event.
Yeah.
It gives me false hope, though, that there's one other thing that's going to be like, what?
I know. I agree. I'm hoping that there's something.
Like maybe they let Devastator slip to
throw
red herring a little.
Or maybe
just a regular toy too. That's going to be like, whoa, what?
Yeah. Maybe they saw that it got leaked out and they moved something up to replace it. If they think that's something, where do they get a load of?
Masterpiece
I don't think
injector?
they would be able to move something up so quick. But how shocked would everyone be if we're like, oh yeah, here's Devastator and here's our Omega Supreme or our Triptychon or something like that. Like,
if it's animated Omega Supreme, you will hear Paladin screaming from Detroit
with joy. Well, we'll hear that anyway because he might be joining us.
You won't be able to distinguish him from everybody else in Detroit that's screaming. So I mean,
whoa.
Wow,
that was good. So, you know, not everything that's caught our attention with Toy Fair has been like big surprise reveal stuff. There's been simpler things too. Who remembers the Transformers Weebles that we never actually got?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because I had Weebles growing up. And
Did they ever fall down?
They never fell down.
Yeah, see? I mean, truth in advertising right there.
But you know, I'm
One day.
This man is 48 years old and his Weebles never fell down to this day.
I'll be 45, thank you. But
I know.
But I'm surprised that we didn't get them at some other point. Not just that
Yeah, I
year,
know.
but since then.
You know,
Especially
one
with the
day.
play school lines.
one day an elderly Brian Kilby will be laying in his bed and yell out, "Weebles!"
And then the rest will be silent.
Like it'll just be like a note comes out of his hand. Weebles.
And of course, I believe it was the same year, we also had Power Quirk Combiners revealed, which, I mean, for most or all of us here, that was its own big deal thing, and something that certainly ended before its time.
Yep.
I think
a fan.
Yeah, I think what happened was because back during Robots in Disguise, when we were getting the exclusives, two different divisions of Hasbro was doing the Sam's Club exclusives of Fire Convoy and Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
We got Fire Convoy in that yellow, but Magnus remained mostly unchanged, other than blue becoming black. And then when you combine them into Omega Prime, it looked hideous because the two divisions of Hasbro did not know they were doing toys for the same company. It's almost like that with Power Core Combiners. It's like half of Hasbro knew they were making them, and the other half didn't know what to do with them. There was no fiction other than what was on the boxes. There was no comic. There was no comic tie-in. There was no web series on Hasbro.com. There was nothing being published through the Collectors Club as fandom, official fandom. They were just a line that it was just this little bubble of a line with no connections to anything.
And you know, even though that I agree that may have been to the detriment of the line, I actually enjoyed that because I haven't had a line like that since I think Zevaz, where there's nothing with it. It's just you get the toys, and the toys are whatever you want the toys to be.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing
But
else. It was nice.
Yeah,
Basic-
there is a simple pleasure in that, honestly.
Yeah.
There was so much amazingness of it. The fact that Smolder hit his enemies with his friend's legs.
It's
like-
yeah. The
I was
saddest
like,
part was
here's my weapon. Oh, stop it! Shut up.
the saddest part about the whole line, like many lines, is the best toys came out near the end.
Mm-hmm.
When you had Heavy Tread, you had Skyjack,
Skyhammer.
Yeah.
Skyhammer. Then you had
Brimstone.
Grimstone, Steamhammer, Undertow. I mean, you had some of the best the boat.
It was a good line. It just
I mean, it was. I
was
think
plagued.
Like everything, the last wave of toys was the best. I'm just sad
And
we'll never.
I think the best way to close this out is with what Aaron Archer told us at CharterCon, which is in developing a toy line, wave 1, you're figuring out what you're doing. And it's not the best you can do. Wave 2, you're getting better. Wave 3, you got basically perfect, and you're canceled.
Mm-hmm.
The only exception
that's
I've
how
ever
it's
seen to that rule is these guys right
Yes, I agree with you.
This
So
is
that's
the first
wave
time you can
1
say
is excellent.
Yeah. Aaron Archer, his statement is exactly perfect, but now you have to add a little asterisk beside of it because these guys exist.
Well, what you also got to say is, imagine these guys in a year from now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to
they're-
see what these guys look like in Wave
I want to
3.
protect the boss.
Yeah. Wave 2.
Man,
Wave
imagine
1.
Alpha Bravo version 2.
And
Yeah, Blades.
hopefully Protect the Bots will be at Toy Fair and we can see, what to expect from the next wave of molds after the Stunticons. Because I feel like the Stunticons and the Aerial Bots were probably developed around the same time. They didn't really have that. There's a little bit of a leap between an Aerial Bot and Drag Strip that you can feel. But I think the Protect the Bots are going to be beyond that still. And I think that's really going to be when we get cemented. This is what this design team can do when they get in their groove. And, where can we go from here? Unintentional, Don, but thank you.
But here's something else. Imagine when you have the U.S. combiners, you have a certain familiarity with the way they combine. Imagine going to the Japanese side for G1, where the connectors are anything, not Scramble Connect, not Scramble City, but your Road Caesar, your Landclaws, your Lio Kaiser, where everyone is different. Imagine this technology using Japanese combiners. If they go that route, it could be outstanding.
I'm throwing this out here. You know, Alpha Bravo, sure, he's an aerial bot. Sure, Off-Road's a Stunticon. These are really your fill-in robots for if you're missing a guy from a combiner. I'm hoping by the end of this, we get a brand new character, Voyager, and we've got a brand new combiner just from happenstance.
Yes, sir. I like that. So basically what we can take away from our recollections of Toy Fairs past is that there's basically always something there that will surprise us and catch our attention and really push us into the coming year, even if we know a little bit about it ahead of time. So just because we've got a lot of information about this year's product line right now, but there is still a lot we can learn, and it's still going to be really fun when we see this stuff for real for the first time. So I hope that all of you watching now will be able to come and join us for our live stream on February 14th and 15th. We're going to be starting at noon Eastern time, and we're going to be going the whole afternoon. We're going to have, you know, live check-in from Diecast at the end of the first day. He's going to be visiting all the other companies that are going to be, all the major companies exhibiting there. And, you know, we're going to have some really great coverage for you. So I really hope you will find the time and come check it out. And if you can't, you know, look up the stream archives on YouTube afterward, because it's really our favorite thing we do all year stream-wise. I think BotCon, when we can all get there, is the favorite thing we do as a group, period, flat out. But Toy Fair is our Super Bowl. It's the thing we look forward to as an event to cover as a podcast, and I don't think this year is going to be any exception to that. So I think that'll do it for our show this week, because we've run long and several of our people have to go to bed. So,
and one of them's not me.
Lucky.
But Don, you're the oldest one here. Shouldn't you have the earliest bedtime?
I can actually still function on about 6 hours of sleep. So I'm good for about another hour and 20 minutes.
Well, thank you all for joining us this week. Thank you guys for being here and contributing as usual. We could not do the show without you guys, and we couldn't do the show without our audience either. So thank you very much. We will see you next time.
Junior
care,
Mafia.
Scorponok died.
Yep, Rhinox farted.
And no mask attack.
Rhinox hit Megatron with a car.
All right, everyone still watching. I'll post the Google Plus Hangout in probably about 2 minutes.
Okay. And no mask attack, thank God. Other than the pre-show.
Yeah, you can tell it's an Exvee show because it went on forever.
It was a good show, though.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I liked it. I had fun.
I'm gonna.
The reason Exvee shows always last so long is because, like, you guys have interesting things to contribute, and I cannot just make myself stop you from talking about interesting stuff. It's all your fault, Rob.
I was going to say something like,